one of the students of John Elite. First met John many years ago, probably 5 years ago. I took 30, applied those principles, had success, decided, hey, you know what? I'd like to go out there and take a boot camp. Went to a boot camp, met John personally, was able to go into a mall. I think I got 5 number closes in an hour and a half. Never had that success before. Through his coaching and guidance, one of the phone numbers had turned into essentially LA. And that was a critical experience. Never did that before. And I remember leaving Vancouver, going back to and really applying those principles, really applying the changes. He taught me how to use a lot of emotions and my facial expressions, and went through a lot of training. And through that process, I was able to get into a 5-year relationship. And this is the best relationship I've ever been in, best looking girl I've ever been with. And essentially it felt like I landed a gold mine, but unfortunately with tactics and skills and the science behind it, longevity with a relationship, you get to know the person you're actually with. And unfortunately ended up being in a terrible situation where we're arguing all the time. Come to find out we're in essentially some kind of trauma bond. So when I went to John with all my problems, had multiple Skypes, what happened was I ended up doing some coaching calls and gave me some strategies, and came to find out that this was something that was causing trauma in my life. And so I ended up enrolling in the 3 Lessons Proficiency program. So just got started. And about a week ago, John said, the first thing we got to do is we're going to do a cure for all the trauma. And I never knew he had something like this, or can he actually do this? But followed his instruction like a military soldier. He's got to be like a Navy SEAL. Wrote down all of my traumas. He said, come up with as many as possible. I came up with 8 or 9, probably 10, and no expectation, but ended up renting a hotel for privacy. And 8 in the morning, all the way until 8 o'clock at night, we attacked every single trauma that I went through. So his approach and how he did it was, is this really happening? What's going on here? He was saying things during the healing process that was like, wow, is he like a psychic, or how does he know these things? Or it's almost like he knows where I come from. And what's great is that he was able to relate with some of the traumas. And that's always good to be able to relate with a person that's mentoring and coaching you. The next couple of days, I felt like empty, like a burning in my brain, like just like work had been done. And yeah, I came back to basically living with my ex-fiancee now. But I remember we were tied into an argument or whatever, and I was just zoned out. And what's crazy is that we had probably the last time we'll ever have sex. I don't know, but it was incredible. We did it for an hour and I felt nothing. That's like the first time that happened. And it started wearing me out a little bit. And essentially the trauma that we were in was like a trauma bond, but it seemed like the trauma bond had been broken because I wasn't seeking something from her, where before in a trauma bond, I'm seeking something from her. She's seeking something from me. It's like a codependence. And long story short, here we are a week later, made the decision, cut it off. Here we go. 3 months of proficiency, changed my life with John's trainings at the boot camp, how to focus on facial expressions and being able to convey emotions. I was able to use his principles and succeed in business. Had incredible success with finances now, to where I have options. I can do whatever I want. And I just signed the lease. This is my first day. Moved in here to this mid-rise. You can see here, there's a pool in the background. That's right next to the mall, literally walking distance from the mall. There's a high expensive gym that's walking distance that I go to. My office is 5 minutes away. This is a hub, and I'm excited to see where the future takes me here with John's coaching. So for those of you guys that are thinking about using any of John's programs, the guy knows what he's doing. He's got testimonials that speak for itself. He has this broken down to a science. It's not a what if. It's like, hey, X, Y, Z, you do this. This is the outcome. And you just got to apply those principles and be a student. And you have to act as if you're actually in a military boot camp. I was in the military. I was in the Coast Guard for 7 years. And I think that's why I was able to apply a lot of the stuff he taught, because it was like, you learn it, you apply it, you execute, you see the results. And what's great is that there's real results here. If you guys are hesitating, you're not sure, you don't have enough money, man, find a way to get the money, find a way to invest in yourself.